Hi guys, this is Daryl and welcome back to Sci-Fi Odyssey. In this video we're going to explore whether sci-fi published today is even science fiction. Stick around and I'll tell you what I mean. So this video has come about off the back of a question I was asked on Goodreads a while back, and it generally had to do with a long-time sci-fi reader really struggling to find sci-fi books that he wanted to read. They weren't hitting those elements of sci-fi that he knew and loved, the very reasons he began to read sci-fi to begin with. Now, I'll be honest, I've recently found myself gravitating away from new sci-fi novels in favour of classics, because there are so many and it would take me an entire lifetime to get through, as well as the 90s and noughties new space opera, because among various reasons those were the sci-fi books that made me fall in love with the genre to begin with. So I thought, why not explore this a little bit? Let's look at some of the popular sci-fi novels published under the banner of sci-fi today and ask if they fit into the traditional sci-fi definition, and if not, why not? What's changed? And what era of sci-fi are we currently living through? So to begin, we just have to go back a bit and look at what traditional sci-fi definitions were. The evolution of sci-fi is a fascinating journey through the tapestry of human imagination, reflecting society's ever-evolving relationship with science and technology. At its core, sci-fi seeks to explore the potential consequences of scientific innovations on individuals and societies. In the early days, writers like Jules Verne and H.G. Wells laid the groundwork with tales of fantastic adventures and cautionary tales about the potential dangers of unchecked scientific progress. Their work often centred around technological marvels like Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or Wells' The War of the Worlds, that captured the awe and fear of an industrialising world. As the 20th century progressed, the genre matured and diversified, reflecting the complex relationship between humanity, technology and the cosmos. This is where authors like Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke and Philip K. Dick come into play. Asimov, known for his Foundation series and robot stories, brought forward intricate tales that often delved into the societal implications of robotics and artificial intelligence. Clarke painted vast canvases of space exploration and human evolution. PKD, on the other hand, often ventured into the realm of the mind, questioning the nature of reality, identity, and humanity. Each of these authors, in their unique way, defined the boundaries and potential of science fiction. They didn't just use the genre to attempt to predict the future, but to challenge readers to think critically about the present, using a lens of speculative fiction to shine light on contemporary societal issues and ethical dilemmas. In doing so, they helped elevate sci-fi from the mere escapism of early pulp magazines to the potent tool for philosophical exploration and societal critique. Moving into what I think of as modern sci-fi, we saw the emergence of cyberpunk during the 80s and the new space opera in the 90s, which reformed the classic space opera, giving it a gritty, dark edge. If you want to know more about the differences between the classic space opera and the new space opera, you can watch my video here. So now we know where sci-fi came from and a few of its original tenets, but somewhere along the way the idea of speculative fiction came into play. At a glance, both sci-fi and speculative fiction might appear to operate in the realm of fantastical, exploring uncharted territories and pushing the boundaries of our imagination. However, upon closer inspection, subtle yet distinctive differences emerge between the two genres. Sci-fi, as the name suggests, finds its root in science. It's a genre that extrapolates current or speculative future scientific knowledge to imagine future scenarios, technological advancements, and the potential consequences of such progress. Classic works in the genre often involve rigorous exploration of scientific concepts, albeit in hypothetical settings. The worlds created, while often far removed from our current reality, are nonetheless grounded in the understanding of physics, biology, and other scientific disciplines. Speculative fiction, on the other hand, casts a wider net. While it may largely encompass science fiction, it's not limited to it. Speculative fiction delves into the what-ifs of society, imagining alternative histories or speculating on entirely new societal structures. The driving force behind speculative fiction is not necessarily science or scientific principles, but rather human nature, cultural shifts, and societal constructs. That's the key difference I want to highlight here. While both genres challenge our perceptions and invite us to imagine the endless possibilities of what could be, sci-fi grounds its narratives in the realm of scientific possibility, whereas speculative fiction thrives on broader philosophical and societal explorations. Both have immense value in sparking thought and debate, each offering unique lenses through which we can examine the world around us. So is it possible that what we have occurring today is a plethora of speculative fiction works being published under the label of sci-fi? Contemporary sci-fi, like all literary genres, evolves with time, echoing the concerns, aspirations and curiosities of the society from which it emerges. And that's how it should be. It's one of the great things about the genre. While the golden age of sci-fi, which is loosely defined as being between the 1940s to the 1960s, was dominated by tales of space exploration and technological marvels, the modern landscape of the genre, in my view, has taken a more introspective turn. One of the most noticeable shifts in modern sci-fi is its increasing focus on societal, political, and philosophical themes, all of which sit predominantly under the speculative fiction umbrella. Whereas classic sci-fi and beyond might have delved into the intricacies of space colonization or the mechanics of time travel, many of today's works are more concerned with how these scenarios affect the human condition and societal structures. For example, books like The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, The Power by Naomi Alderman, are less about technological advancements and more about gender dynamics, power structures, and societal norms. However, this isn't to say that more traditional sci-fi is obsolete. There are still many authors who delve into the scientific intricacies of their stories. Books like The Three-Body Problem by Liu Cixin or Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir incorporate rigorous scientific concepts into their narratives. Yet these works often interweave significant socio-political commentary to some extent, highlighting the somewhat inseparable nature of science, society, and philosophy. So what would be a good litmus test, so to speak, to gauge the current state of sci-fi and whether it is generally standing by the genre's founding tenets? How about the Hugo Awards? The Hugo Awards, one of the highest honours in the science fiction and fantasy genres, offer a lens through which we can view the evolving narrative preferences and thematic focuses of the sci-fi community. Established in tribute to Hugo Gernsback, who founded the pioneering science fiction magazine Amazing Stories, the Hugo Awards have traditionally recognised novels that encapsulate the core elements of science fiction. Over the decades, titles like Dune by Frank Herbert, Neuromancer by William Gibson, and Foundation by Isaac Asimov, all of which have been celebrated with the award, have firmly anchored the award's legacy in tales of imaginative futurism and technological speculation. However, taking a closer look at the Hugo winners from the past few years gives us an indication of the genre's current trajectory. 2018's winner of the award was The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, the concluding novel of the Broken Earth trilogy. It seamlessly blends post-apocalyptic settings with fantasy elements. While it offers a vision of a future Earth, its essence revolves around themes of oppression, family and societal renewal. 2019's winner, The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, is an alternate history novel with a touch of hard sci-fi. It contemplates a world where a meteorite accelerates the space race, blending technical aspects of space exploration with strong socio-political undertones, especially concerning gender dynamics in the mid-20th century. 2020's A Memory Called Empire by Kathreen Martin delves into the complexities of empire, identity, and memory. While set in a vast interstellar empire, its narrative hinges more on cultural and personal exploration than on technological wonders. The follow-up, A Desolation Called Peace, also won the award in 2022. 2021's Network Effect by Martha Wells, part of the Murderbot Diaries series, offers a blend of artificial intelligence and human emotion. The series centralises an AI with feelings, autonomy desires, and a penchant for soap operas, reflecting on the nature of identity and agency amidst action-packed sequences. Then, just recently, the Hugo Awards announced its 2023 winner, which was a book called Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, which isn't sci-fi at all. It's fantasy. It doesn't even try to be sci-fi. This is really confusing because the awards call themselves science fiction's most prestigious award. Was there a shortage of sci-fi published in 2022? While some of these recent Hugo Award-winning novels undeniably showcase the breadth and adaptability of the genre, there's an evident drift from the traditional sci-fi themes that once dominated the awards. As narratives lean more into socio-political commentary and intricate character development, which are all important, the core elements of speculative technology, space exploration, and cosmic wonder seem to be relegated to the background. This shift prompts the question, are we witnessing an evolution in the genre, or is the essence of sci-fi being diluted in favour of broader, more accessible themes? As the boundary between sci-fi and speculative fiction becomes increasingly blurred, you couldn't be blamed for asking whether the Hugo Awards still uphold the same tenets of sci-fi that once guided its legacy. Is it simply a case that more speculative fiction is being published in the place of traditional sci-fi, instead of alongside it? Are authors writing less sci-fi and more speculative fiction? Are publishers choosing it more because perhaps they appeal to a broader audience? The publishing industry itself has undergone significant transformations. The digital age democratized the publishing process, allowing a plethora of voices to emerge through self-publishing avenues and online platforms. This wider pool means stories aren't solely curated through traditional gatekeepers, leading to an inevitable diversification in narrative styles and themes. I talk about this more in my video, Why Isn't Sci-Fi Optimistic Anymore? However, this raises the question, in their search for the next bestseller, are publishers prioritizing accessible sci-fi narratives that resonate with larger, potentially less science-focused audiences? Such a trend might actually inadvertently sideline traditional sci-fi in favour of stories with broader appeal, further blurring the lines of what constitutes science fiction. The sanctity of science in science fiction is a somewhat sensitive topic, particularly among longtime fans of the genre. Many are increasingly disheartened by what they perceive as a dilution of the rigorous scientific foundations that once defined sci-fi. I can understand how the essence and core intellectual rigour of the genre seem to be getting overshadowed, even compromised by the influx of broader, sometimes even shallow or tangential themes. On the other hand, the metamorphosis of the genre has undeniably ushered in a wealth of new voices, bringing to the fore new storytelling techniques. It could be argued that these newer narratives, while deviating from the traditional mould, have succeeded in expanding the genre's appeal, reaching corners of the audience previously untouched by the complexities of harder sci-fi. Yet we have to question what we lose in the process. Is the very soul of science fiction being traded for broader market appeal and palatability? While fresh perspectives are undoubtedly valuable, there's a critical need to ensure that the foundational principles of the genre, those that emphasise scientific curiosity, exploration and rigour, are not lost. These works stand as testaments to the power of the genre to inspire real-world advancements. If contemporary sci-fi shies away from exploring the real boundaries of technology and scientific thought, the world stands to lose more than mere fictional entertainment. Such foresighted narratives have historically served as catalysts, pushing human imagination and directly influencing inventors, scientists, and thinkers. By sidelining technological exploration in favour of more generic or introspective themes, we risk stifling the very spark that has, time and time again, bridged the gap between fiction and reality. To be clear, this is not a critique or a dismissal of speculative fiction. Its importance in the literary world is undeniable. Speculative fiction brilliantly challenges our societal norms, offers profound reflections on human nature, and imagines alternate realities with different societal constructs. These narratives serve as a mirror, allowing readers to critically assess the world around them. However, the crux of the argument is that there is a vast landscape in the realm of fiction where both speculative and traditional sci-fi can coexist, each feeding and enriching the other. While speculative tales pose philosophical and societal questions, harder sci-fi inspires tangible technological advancements. Both genres have their unique strengths, and the literary world would be more vibrant and multifaceted if both were given equal space to flourish. In diminishing one in favour of the other, we risk losing the scope of imagination that the broader genre of sci-fi has historically provided. The influx of fresh voices and perspectives has undeniably broadened the genre's horizons and its appeal among different demographics. Yet there's an intrinsic value in the foundational tenets that traditional sci-fi have championed. The technological wonders, the rigour of hard science, and the profound questions about humanity's place in the cosmos are hallmarks of this genre. Embracing change is essential, nothing stays the same, but it's equally crucial to ensure that the core principles that made sci-fi so captivating and important aren't sidelined. The challenge, and perhaps the opportunity, lies in finding a balance where both the traditional and the new can unite, offering readers the best of both worlds. But what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hot takes welcome. Until next time. Thanks so much for watching. If you're craving an extraordinary journey through realms unexplored, consider delving into universes directly out of my brain by checking out my sci-fi novels Black Milk and Delphine Descends. You can find more details in the description. Thanks for your support.